So if you mastered the plank on the physio ball, we're going to take this to the next level. And we're not just going to change our own level to maybe change the resistances on the ball. What we're going to do is we're going to start to create movement. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want to do with our body. We want to train movement, and we train our muscles to move, not to stay rigid and still. So we're going to get into my 3 favorite plank variations. So we got that physio ball again. Setups identical to that last video. And if you haven't watched it, go back, check that one, master that position, because it'll make everything in this video that much easier. So let's get into our plank position. The first one we're going to do is stir the pot. So I got my nice relaxed lower body position. Hips are up. I'm pressed away from the ball. From here, I'm just going to make little circles. I'm not letting my body move. I'm keeping my body steady, and only the ball moves. I'm going, I like this start K. Can I get, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, one direction? And then can I do that going the other direction as well? Remember, if you start to feel your back, come out of it, rest. The longer you stay in that exercise, feeling your back, the more you're training that compensation pattern, which means the more you're training your brain to, hey, we're doing a core exercise, let's use that back. We don't want to do that, right? We want to use the core. So we want to make sure we have good quality reps, because that will lead to the quantity. So when we're setting up with that stir the pot, one thing I like to think about here is, one of my favorite sayings is, anyone can create motion, not many people can resist it. So can you resist all the extra motion that your body wants to do when you're going through that stir the pot? If you find yourself kind of moving a lot, hips dropping, right? Maybe it's a little too much for you. You might also be doing too big of circles. So keep those circles small. Start like dime-sized circles. Show me the control. Show me you own it. Show me you've mastered that exercise. Because once you do that, it's that much easier to progress to the next one. So first one we did, stir the pot. Second exercise, very, very similar. It's the body saw. So now instead of making those circles, we're going to just go forwards and backwards. And this one is incredibly, incredibly underestimating. You only have to move this ball a couple inches, because the further the ball goes, the more it's going to challenge the low back. And what's the name of the game? Keeping the core engaged, not feeling the back. So I want to find that sweet spot, train that sweet spot, and as it gets stronger in that sweet spot, it'll start to get larger. My range of motion opens up. I'm doing more. But in the beginning, it's just going to start very simple. I got my position. This is all it has to be. Little motions. Everyone's biggest mistake for this is they start real low with the ball and they're moving it like this. I'm not going to feel my core too much. Right? I'm going to kind of get that normal position, and I'm reaching the ball further away from me. So right here, this is it. Just like 2 to 3 inches. This is all it needs. The further I go, the more I kind of have to go back with the hips. You might, if your whole body's going with you, you kind of have to fight your hips away from your elbows. So I don't want to create the movement. It's just something I need to think about if I'm starting to compensate, if I can't accomplish that exercise. So we did the stir the pot. We did the body saw. So now once we mastered those 2 kind of just basic, relatively stable plank variations, we're going to go to the knee drives. So now with the knee drives, same position, doesn't change. But now I want to see, can I bring one knee into the ball and back? Can I bring one knee into the ball and back? Just a little baby tap on that ball. Not about speed, about control. Do I have the control? Remember, anyone can create motion. Not many people can resist it. Can I resist all the extra motion I feel my body wants to do? Because I'm taking away one major stable point in that foot. The biggest thing with this too is not letting the hips drop, right? If the hips drop, I start to kind of become dead weight. It's going to be harder for me to control, and I'm probably going to feel my core less. I'm going to feel more of like my upper body, my neck just trying to keep me up. So feel the core, nice smooth little motions. Don't fall out of the exercise. Make sure you get all the way back to that starting point. And with this one, man, if you can do 10 to 12 in a row, get 5 to 6 each side, that's great for your first time. It's a really good place to start. And then ultimately, I like to do all 3 of those together. So I'll go like stir the pot for a set, body saw for a set, knee drives for a set. And if you can get through all three of those back to back to back, you're not only showing some good core strength, showing some great muscular endurance. And that's what we need if we really want to start performing more functional training, because we use our core for everything. We want to make sure our core can activate, our core can move, and we can breathe while we're doing the whole thing. So go ahead, try those 3 variations out. Give me a like, hit subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments.